What's going on, guys? Noobs here. You know what? I've been having trouble thinking of video ideas lately, and that's because I've run out of things to complain about. I mean, sure, there's still the same old problems with Nintendo in a lot of ways, but they have been having such a good year. I mean, looking back on it now, 2017 is got to be one of Nintendo's best years, at least their best year in recent memory. And mostly to do with the Switch, but in other ways as well. So here we are, end of the year. I thought let's take a little look back at what an incredible year Nintendo has had. Starting all the way back in January, of course, we had the Switch unveiling, which at the time I remember sitting here and feeling mixed about it. On the one hand, it looked like there were a lot of good games. I was excited about it being the hybrid, but I had a lot of questions. I was very dubious about a lot of the decisions, but for the most part, I think they've panned out for Nintendo. Now, Internet Muppet Arlo actually did a video about this a little while ago. He made a great point, which was that he thought he had a theory. He thought, maybe the mixed reception to that January unveiling was that we were looking at the games that they'd shown and we were just picturing these would be delayed, and we'd be seeing these, at year after year, E3 after E3, and that this slate of games they'd shown would be stretched out, right? And yet here we are at the end of the year, none of those first-party games got delayed, and they all came out. Like, think about that. I mean, as it's happening, you don't really realize, but here we are. They all came out. Even Xenoblade, which nobody thought would actually come out on time, has released. Like, what company is this? I don't know anymore. On the software front, Nintendo's been great about releasing about one big tentpole game a month, roughly. Starting with, of course, Breath of the Wild at launch, then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Splatoon 2, Mario plus Rabbids, Pokken Tournament DX, Fire Emblem Warriors, Super Mario Odyssey, and now Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That's an incredible lineup of games, and the system isn't even a year old, lest we forget it launched in March. And then, on top of that, we've had great indie support on the system. Third parties are starting to pick up. Things like the Arcade Archives have been there as well. So overall, it's been an incredible lineup of games. And it's like, wow, this is what competent release management looks like. I mean, we have spent years and years just like surviving, the typical Nintendo delays and droughts and just mishandling of releases where if we're getting anything, where sometimes it seems like it's either a glut of platformers or nothing, or like, here's a few spin-offs you definitely never wanted, and you better love them because you're not getting anything else. But here we are, all these big installments, proper installments of big franchises, plus new franchises as well. It's like an incredible, it's really a good, solid mix of genres and everything. I don't know what's gotten into them. I mean, I don't know if it's just kind of the fruits of merging their handheld and home console teams finally, or if it's just the different management style under Kimishima, or is it just because they took the last couple of years off of Wii U and we're never going to have a year like this again? I don't know, but it's been good. You know what? Actually, I don't think it's going to be like that. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 didn't have to launch. I mean, they've had a very busy year. All of us were expecting a delay anyways. If they needed to pad next year, that would have been the game that could have pushed out a few months, and they didn't. Which gives me hope that this trend will continue for next year and beyond. It's a little early for me to do my 2018 predictions. That will be happening later in December, but I got good feelings about it. On the hardware front, I think, look, the main concept has absolutely been proven right. It was the right direction to go. I read a forum comment a while ago. Somebody said something like, people traditionally have bought games in spite of Nintendo's hardware, and now they're buying games because of Nintendo's hardware. I keep seeing people commenting that they actually would like third-party games on the Switch specifically because they love the portability. People are actually buying third-party games like Doom for the system, even if they're downgraded graphically because of the portability. And yeah, I'm right there with them. I love being able to just play on the couch, play on the bed, take it where I want. Even if I'm not going outside, just being able to play where I want in my own home. It's fantastic. Some of the other hardware has maybe not quite been proven. Nintendo's done a fair bit of motion control stuff in the games, but I don't think anybody's really loving it. They've done essentially nothing with the touch screen. The IR pointer, I don't know that it's come into play for anything. The HD rumble, I guess people, I have appreciated that. I think that's been proven. I don't know if it's proven kind of the cost that it adds to the system, but it is a nice feature. So, and you know what? The removable Joy-Cons, which was probably the thing that I was most unsure about. I kind of thought just build controls into it and then, sell me a Pro controller. No, actually, when you slide those into that little controller dock, they're quite comfortable to play with. So aside from the issues at launch with the reception on the left Joy-Con, I think the controls have proven themselves as well. Probably worth a shout out here as well that this year hasn't just been amazing for the Switch, but you know what? They've still been having a good year with 3DS, right? We had, Fire Emblem Echoes towards the beginning of the year, Samus Returns, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So yes, while the system is winding down, they've actually been giving it a decent send-off, which is so un-Nintendo. And the Super Nintendo Classic. They still don't seem to have made enough of them, but at least they made enough that it's possible to get them. So good work, Nintendo. I don't know what's gotten into you. I hardly recognized you, Nintendo. Again, like I said, I will be doing my full predictions in a few more weeks, but I am very optimistic software-wise. Big question for next year, of course, is what are they going to do with online and the ever-looming question of Virtual Console. Still, though, I'm feeling good. It is such a good time to be a Nintendo fan right now. I've been just buying games and playing games and enjoying them instead of complaining that I have nothing to play and thinking, geez, if only they would do this or this or this, and always coming up with things that I'd rather have Nintendo doing. I'm actually just enjoying what they're doing. It is a strange feeling. As an armchair Nintendo general, what's the term? Armchair executive? I don't know. I hardly know what to do with myself, and it's a weird place to be, but I like it. So let me know, guys, what do you think about this year for Nintendo? Is this not one of their best years ever? Keep in mind, we're not even 1 year into the Switch's library yet, right? It came out in March. What do you think? Has 2017 really been one of Nintendo's best years ever? How much have you been enjoying it? What are your hopes and fears for 2018? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.